Hi players, bonjour from Paris. My name is Asaf and welcome to my channel Easy Board Games. Today we're going to do an unboxing for Halls of Hegra, which is, I gotta say, the first Kickstarter that I'm receiving. So yeah, I'm relatively new at this. Before we're getting started, I just wanted to show you this amazing playmat for my gaming table that I bought from this company. I will attach the link down below. I'm not connected to them in any way, but I'm really happy with the quality of this material and the printing and everything. So I will attach a link down below and you can check that out. So let's start with the unboxing. So I received this box a few days ago, but I was out of the country, so I couldn't check it out. But in any case, so I don't know why, but I think from other games I weighted the box to be a little bit bigger, which is kind of a cool surprise, to be honest with you, because enough with the big boxes, right? So, Halls of Hegra, there you go. Let's compare it to a game that we probably know a little bit better. So if I'm taking Terraforming Mars, for example, this is the box, the boutique version. And this is pretty much Halls of Hegra. So a little bit smaller. So the art here is pretty sweet, I gotta say. I find it pretty beautiful. And the story behind this game, this is, by the way, a solo game. So this is only for one player and one player alone. And I gotta say that when I backed the Kickstarter and when it got back, the creator was, I think, almost surprised that relatively so many people, hold on, let me open that wrapper, that so many people were really interested in a one player, in a solo gaming experience. But the story behind this game is a castle that we have in Norway. So let's see what we have over here. From an abandoned mountain fortress, you command a group of Norwegian volunteers fighting numerically superior German forces in the early days of World War II. Halls of Hegra is a solo-only game where you play the commander during the siege, which is divided into 3 stages. The mechanism you will use are worker placement, back building, and area control / tower defense. So that's the back of the box right over here. The box feels pretty solid. So again, if I need to compare it to another game, so the carton is a little bit thicker than Terraforming Mars. It feels more solid. Over here we have a few bags. So we have here the hit bag. Again, I have no idea yet what everything means, but recruit bag. But obviously, as the content, as the box said, it's going to be a bag building also. Here's the rules that we have right over here. Feels pretty good. The font that we have feels great. Also, I see that we can have here some examples, which is pretty awesome. Relatively for a solo game and for a relatively small box, I see that we have a lot of rules explained over here. I just hope that we're going to have here many examples. But in any case, it feels not so bad at all. And I'm super excited to try this game. So obviously I'm going to do another video of how to play this game if you're interested. Then maybe one day it will go for a reprint. Over here we have the punch board. So as you can see right over here, we have here, I'm guessing the different, units. Feels really solid. Let's continue. Over here, we're having, I'm guessing, part of the game that we'll be able to control. Again, it's on the other side. It's like this and like this. All right. Again, the material feels very good. I'm super happy. It's like from a thicker carton, you know, so when you put it on the table, it just stays flat on it and it doesn't fold on the sides like we're used from some other games. So this is pretty sweet. I like that kind of thing. Another punch board with different things. Over here we have new supplies, water. So again, some content. Over here we have some generic cubes that we can see over here. Let's show you a little bit better. The different tokens. Let me show it to you outside of the bag. So they're pretty small. If I'm not mistaken, they're a little bit smaller even than the tokens that we have on Robinson Crusoe. Voila. And some more soldier meeples that we have over here. So as you already understand, this is not one of those productions that are, I don't know, with miniatures or something like this. It's really, if I'm not mistaken, it's the first time that this creator is doing a board game. But I have to tell you that the campaign of the Kickstarter went really well. Everything was relatively quick, answered questions all the time, kept us in the loop. And to be honest, it's the first Kickstarter that I'm receiving, but not the first one that I'm backing. So I had other Kickstarters like Pagan, for example, or even Septima. So obviously, as you know, taking them a lot more time to come to the table. But let's see now the board. So as you can see over here, let's open it up. So yeah, relatively big board. I like that. I like that a lot. So there you go. I'm guessing that it's a little bit bigger again than Terraforming Mars, but let me show you a comparison. So it's not like I'm trying to push for Terraforming Mars, not that I think that it needs to, but I think that many of you can relate to that in order of sizes. So order of the width, it's it's basically the same. And now you can see the difference that we have from the board of Halls of Hegra and the Terraforming Mars. So we have here about 25% plus minus bigger. So over here we have the map, and we can do the different actions or the different barricades. And I'm guessing that the German army, the Nazi army, will come from this place going towards the castle. It looks pretty sweet. To be honest with you, it kind of gives the feeling of this really Second World War map or something like that. You really feel like you're in the commander's table, and you have here, I love the art here, like the gun, I used the bullet here, and it looks really, really cool. Over here we have like a itinerary. Again, I didn't check the game, I just opened it with you guys, but it looks great. I personally like this kind of art. It makes me feel like you're the commander, you're in control. And you have here all the information. Yeah, it looks pretty sweet. After that, we have some generic dice that we can see. Nothing, it's not customed or something like that, just normal dice. So let's open them up and see what does it look like. I'm not sure you guys can tell, but this is totally my the first time that I'm doing an unboxing. So if you have any kind of advice for me, please feel free to let me know. I'll be more than happy to receive some help over here. We have here the different cards. Pretty sweet art, to be honest with you guys. Again, I'm not so sure what each and one of them actually means in the game, but it looks good. What I like in games that really for the different cards, you'll be able to distinguish them pretty easily, you know, from the different art that you have behind it, which will help the setup and the tear down more and more, especially if you're going to sleeve them, put them in different bags. So the cards, I don't want to say they feel like they're going to torn or something like that very easily, but they feel pretty thin. I'm not so sure how often or how much you need to move the cards from one place to another, but I hope not too much, so you'll have less possibility for them to tear down. So that's the content of Halls of Hegra. Let me do a quick cut and show it to you how it is when it is set up. So there you go, guys. This is how the game looks like when it's all set up. It took me about 25 minutes, I want to say. And yeah, it's maybe a relatively long time, but this is really the first time that I'm doing the setup for this game. Obviously, just punched all the different boards and need to organize the different tokens that we have over here, for example. But for a first setup, it's okay. It feels normal, obviously. And we have here all the different cards. There was some parts that were a little bit confusing. For example, with separating these two deck of cards that we have over here. As we can see, we have the high morale and the low morale. So first I thought, like according to the manual, that you need to shuffle all of them, but then apparently you need to separate also the hope and the despair. But probably it's just me who misunderstood. So it's totally fine. The other things with the art, like I said before, it's super comfortable to distinguish between the different cards, the different events, and it feels very good. One thing that I didn't get, but I didn't want to waste more time on it, They say that if this is the first game that you're having or one of the first games that you're having, they recommend not to use the advanced event cards. But I didn't understand really which cards are the advanced event cards. So I guess, again, it's something that I missed or it was not so clear. So I'll check that a little bit later. But all in all, the game is very, let's say, clean. There's not a lot of mess. It's not a table hog. It fits really well space-wise. I like it. Everything here, it looks good. There are a lot of things that are going on this specific map, and you can already notice that you're going to pay attention to really the small details, weather and the snow tiles and the different recruits that are going to come and the different tables. So you see that you'll have a lot of details that you'll need to make sure that you're following in order to have a very sweet experience of this beautiful puzzle. So stay tuned for one of my next videos that I'm going to show you how to play Halls of Hegra. Again, first Kickstarter that is coming to me. I'm super excited about it. It looks beautiful. Take care, guys, and see you next time.